One for Lynn. Would you be able to provide us with an overview of the new criteria and what we've done with the customer experience section?
Happy to. What we've tried to do with managing customer experience, because this is at the core of everything. This is the reason why we do what we do. It's the reason for everything else in here. And what we wanted to do was get away from an activity-based approach to really having a customer experience strategy, to actually defining what we want our customer experience to be, how we're going to deliver that through all the different channels that we offer service through, to make sure that it's consistent. So while you'll still see things to do with event-based and periodic surveys in there, it's far more focused now on, are we planning a customer service experience? Do we understand how we're going to deliver that? And then how we're going to measure whether we're actually delivering what we promise. So it's a much more holistic, strategic approach, and hopefully people whose organisations don't allow them to do things like periodic surveys won't feel so disadvantaged as they have done in the past, because now it's more flexible. You come up with the programme, look against the criteria, and then it's about, are you taking that strategic approach? And the other new thing that we've done is we moved service design into managing the customer experience, because this is a life cycle, it's a cycle, it goes round. And it is the customer experience that should be feeding into how we design new services. So if we're doing customer journey mapping for the support journey, what we learn from that, what we learn from our customer segmentation, should be driving into service design, so we're taking all of that feedback on board to improve the design of new services, not just manage the existing ones there. So it's a much more full life cycle approach.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll add to that as well. I think you're absolutely right. I love some of the stuff we've done around the profiling and slight change in relationship management as well. And I think for me, right, if you look at the way that I've always been a massive advocate of what we do in this industry, and I don't think many organisations really look at the service desk in what it should be looked at as strategic, an asset. You know, it's a driver. It's not just a place where you ring up and shout at somebody. And I think what this does, certainly when you look at IDL4 and the changes there and the value proposition it tries to promote, this is almost linked directly to that. And this should enable organisations to view the service desk in a completely different way. That's what I'm hoping this is going to do. I'm hoping it's going to change the way in which an organisation looks at what a service desk is. And coupling that with value, coupling that with service, couple with that, all the stuff that's going to come out. And do you know what? People changing their attitudes to stuff, because that's going to be the toughest thing. The governance guys are going to be saying, what do you mean practices? What do you mean? What do you need processes? All that's going to come out in the wash over the next, 6 months, year, 2 years. This thing is going to support the way in which an organisation sees the service desk as a fundamental part of the organisation, and that's for me really powerful. And I really hope it's a game changer and changes the way that in the way that an organisation views what we do. That's right. My hope is.
And just one last little thing to add to that. I think what the guys have said has been spot on. If you think about the customer as well, we always talk a lot about we have these challenges in IT. You mentioned one about budgets. We mentioned about technologies. We have the number of applications we have to support. Think about the customer's challenges as well, because they've got exactly the same challenges, and actually a lot more is forced on them. They're not involved in some of this decision making that's there. So what we wanted to do is mature it. So if you think about all the touch points a service desk or a service support function has with the customers, whether it be the service desk analyst, it be service delivery management, it be surveys, periodic surveys, event-based surveys, business relationship management, customer advocates, all of that, all those touch points are there. And what we wanted to really do with this section is make that coherent, so we can actually, as a service desk, offer a service to our customers and actually help resolve their challenges. And this really pulls that out now. The standard itself is a maturity model. So it's about how you can get better over a period of time and how you can do different things over a period of time. So if you look at what the standard sets you up for, is you actually could put something in your strategy so your policy and strategy section and your leadership section that says in 2021 we're going to put a business case together to how we would look to mature our support channels to our customers, and we would see that as quite highly because you're forward thinking, and that's exactly what we've tried to do in the standard. So yes, when we got to the question about have you got a chatbot, I'm paraphrasing a question now, you might go no, but in the strategy you might get maturity level 4 because you've actually got a 3-year maturity plan. So use it, a bit like metrics, use it in the whole, all concepts, link them together rather than just focusing on one question in one area. So you actually, as part of a strategic direction for your customers, you actually could build a plan for them.